So I guess he's doing his bad list.
I guess.
I think I have the feeling he's doing that.
Alex is not happy. Alex is not happy.
Jesus Christ. Here we go. This is bad. This is gonna be bad. I'm gonna be talking about, in my opinion, the worst films of this year. Do I really have to do this?
Yes, you do.
I have to.
It'll be therapeutic for you.
I guess so.
We'll get you a script if you need it.
I still want
Fuck
to
the script.
I have 5 dishonorable mentions. A movie I was looking forward to. It was advertised to come out in 2012, but an event pushed it back. That is Gangster Squad. There's so much high hopes for this movie. So much high hopes. I mean, you have Sean Penn in a movie. It's supposed to be good. I guess not. Emma Stone, who's supposed to be the eye candy in this movie.
My favorite.
Although she didn't really contribute anything to this movie. Ryan Gosling and Josh Brolin. What the hell were you doing in this movie? It was not good. Get a better agent. Read the script next time. Next dishonorable mention is Identity Thief. Jason Bateman, I'm not a big fan of him. Not a big fan of Jason Bateman. Melissa McCarthy, I get it. You were good in Bridesmaids. And you're good in Mike and Molly.
She was good in this.
No, she was average. I just didn't believe the story. It definitely gave the state of Florida a bad reputation already because we are known as the identity theft capital of the world. That's where it takes place. And it pretty much gave us more of a bad reputation because of this movie. The next dishonorable mention is kind of surprising because I didn't really have high hopes for this movie. And it was definitely head-scratching, to say the very least, because I saw the first one, but this was kind of a sequel, but not really. It's Riddick. I did not have fun. I got bored with this movie. I almost fell asleep through this movie, to be honest with you. Not even Batista, and I'm a WWE fan. Not even Batista could save this movie. Vin Diesel, yeah, I get it. You were good in the previous ones. You were good in Fast and the Furious and Triple X. But you don't need to do this one again. You don't need to remake Riddick again. It doesn't need to be done. The next dishonorable mention is a movie I was forced to see by one of our good friends. 21 and Over. It's pretty much every single college, stereotypical college movie. You gotta get screwed, you gotta get fucked up on your 21st birthday, and that's pretty much what this was. The characters didn't seem convincing. Storyline was dumb. The script was dumb. My last dishonorable mention is The Hangover Part 3. I will say, this is much better than Part 2. It is much better than Part 2 because it was different. Definitely a twist of events, but that's not saying much. That's why. Those are my dishonorable mentions.
Number 10.
For number 10, if I didn't put this on my top 10 worst, I guarantee you I would get a media firestorm if I didn't. But I thought it was kind of enjoyable, but then kind of not. My number 10 is Grown Ups 2. It was not fun. A lot of cameo movies. This is pretty much just an Adam Sandler pretty much get together with all his famous friends. Wasn't funny. Well, it was much better than Jack and Jill, but that's not saying much because it's Adam Sandler. I mean, enjoyable somewhat, but then again, not really because I know if I didn't put it on here, I would get a pretty much hell coming at me. That's why Grown Ups 2 is my number 10.
Number 9.
Number 9 for me is it's the latest and greatest M. Night Shyamalan movie. And that is After Earth. With Will Smith and his son. This movie, scripts, everything about this movie was not good. The chemistry between those two, their father and son. And they didn't believe the chemistry. Well, then again, it is M. Night Shyamalan, so M. Night Shyamalan, ding dong, you suck, whatever. Next up.
Number 8.
Number 8 is the only animated movie on my list. Cars 2. I guess the next logical option is to do Planes. Disney. I get it. You have a fascination for traveling. You got Cars. Now the next logical thing is Planes. And that's why Planes is my number 8. It wasn't funny. Let me get this straight. Out of all the actors in Hollywood, out of all the actors, famous, not famous, that have gotten their big break, that haven't gotten their big break, the first person that comes to mind for you to get for your main guy is Dane Cook. That right there, it just says it right there. It was not funny. It wasn't funny. It wasn't believable. Well, obviously it wasn't believable. It was a freaking animated movie. I will say this. It was worse than Cars. It sucked. That's why Planes is my number 8.
Number 7.
Number 7 for me is a terrible movie. It is a terrible movie. It's The Lone Ranger. You got Johnny Depp with a stupid bird up his head, pretty much doing the same thing he did with Pirates of the Caribbean. He's got the same character pretty much throughout the entire movie. Arnie Hammer, again, casting choices, Hollywood. Why would he be the first choice to be the Lone Ranger? This movie also was way too long. I really wanted to walk out of this movie, but I forced myself to stay in. I regret it to this day. That's why it's my number 7.
Number 6.
Okay, here we go. This is going to surprise a lot of people that this is my number 6 because I had such high hopes for this movie.
Oh.
In 2012, when it was supposed to come out,
I know what it is.
and then 2013 came out, and it came out. At first I liked it, and then I read the reviews, Austin's, Schmo's, Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, the freaking film critic. I've read the reviews. Wasn't fun. It was The Great Gatsby. Oh my gosh. This movie was so disappointing. The acting was horrible. Tobey Maguire pretty much steals the show. And this one was also way too long. Way too long. It was also 2.5 hours. Did not need to be in 3D. Didn't have a fun time with this movie. That's why Great Gatsby is my number.
Number 5.
Now we're getting to the really deep stuff. This is the worst of the year, starting out with number 5. I'm gonna channel my inner Joe, if I don't mind. When will this guy stop fucking making movies? When will this guy just stop? Just stop. His movies aren't funny. His characters aren't funny. Even his dramas aren't funny. If you haven't noticed it yet, my number 5, A Madea Christmas. This movie was not fun. I had such a bad time watching this. His movies are not funny. Madea is not a hello plus Gator Done is not a good combination. In the end, it's going to be successful because Tyler Perry is Tyler Perry, and it's got the Oprah stamp of approval.
I got the Oprah stamp of approval?
Yeah, Tyler Perry's one of Oprah Winfrey's favorite directors.
God.
Well, Oprah doesn't know anything then.
Tyler Perry, moving right along. Really, a Christmas movie? This is pretty much the sour event of the winter season. It was not fun. It was not enjoyable. Do not see this movie at all whatsoever. That's why Madea Christmas is my number 5. Please, God, move to the next one.
Number 4.
Number 4 is a spoof movie. It's not fun, not enjoyable. Everything that was good about the first 4, I will say were funny. They had a common sense. They had something that linked together. They had recurring characters. This one didn't. Scary Movie 5 is my number 4. Charlie Sheen. What were you thinking? And plus, it parodied so many bad movies. You got Paranormal Activity mixed with Mama, mixed with The Devil Inside, mixed with Planet of the Apes, mixed with a lot of stuff that just aren't funny when they combine the two. It's just not funny at all. Again, I had to pace myself to sit through this movie. I really wanted to leave, but I stuck through it because I knew it was going to be in my top 10 worst. That's why Scary Movie 5 is my number 4. Number 3. Lucas knows how bad this movie is. You know how bad this movie is.
Am I the one I'm thinking?
I'm pretty sure it is. Number 3, for me, will be R.I.P.D. R.I.P.D. is S-H-I-T. Ryan Reynolds, Jeff Bridges do not make a good combo. Pretty much Men in Black meets Jonah Hex. And those two definitely don't go good together. It's not funny. What the hell? Did not have a fun time in this movie. It was just bad. R.I.P.D. is S-H-I-T. That's why it's my number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2 is a movie that Austin forced me to watch. Deeply regret it.
Sorry!
He forced Lucas to
Sorry, guys!
watch this one too. Thankfully, we did not see this in theaters. Thankfully, we saw this online. My number 2 is The Starving Games. This movie was just horrible. Horrible. They get the start. Why would you parody The Hunger Games? I mean, it's easily parodyable. But seriously, The Hunger Games mixed with Oz the Great and Powerful, mixed with Angry Birds, mixed with Avatar, which came out 3 years ago. Or technically this is 2014. So 4 years ago. Starving Games was not funny. It's definitely one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. But my number 1 is far much worse than this. I will say that. That's why The Starving Games is my number 2.
It's number 1.
My number 1 is by far one of the worst movie theater experiences I've ever been to in my entire life. Joe pretty much forced me to see this with you.
How dare you, Joe?
I'm not sorry for it. needed to see it.
No.
You see it just because you could say you dealt with it pretty much, right? Yeah.
Yeah. When you have a A-list cast of Halle Berry, Hugh Jackman, Emma Stone, Sean William Scott, Johnny Knoxville, when you put those together, it's supposed to be so good. But this one was not. If you haven't guessed it, movie 43. Without question, the worst movie of the year. No, I'll go even further. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. When Terrence Howard is the only funny person in that movie, you know it's bad. When you got guys like McLovin, Hugh Jackman with balls on his chin. You copied that off of South Park. South Park! How unoriginal can you get? Deeply regret seeing it. Thanks a lot, Joe.
Hey, you wanted to leave halfway through it.
I know, I really wanted to walk out. But I didn't.
And I said, we spent $10, we are getting our $10 worth of it.
What for that?
Overall, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Chuckled once during that basketball sketch. Otherwise, I was cringing. Arms were folded up. I was like, oh. It's not fun at all. That's why movie 43 is my number one worst film of 2013. So, hope you guys could sit through that. Hope you guys could agree with me on a few of those. Go subscribe to Austin, subscribe to me, Lucas, Shane, and Joe. And till the next video, or our next video, whenever you see you again, this is A+90, Alex Putnam, seeing Arrivederci, baby.
Seriously, do it. Do it. Do it.